Hey everybody, Robert Adducci here, and we have a guest today, Rudy Basso. Rudy, welcome.
Hi, thank you so. I'm so excited to be here, Robert, and to talk about all the news and all the Torg.
Yes, we will
Right?
be definitely talking about a lot of Torg stuff. So Tim cannot be with us today, but we are going to power ahead. He should be here next week. Um, so let's just get into it.
Yeah,
So Ulysses Con Vegas, we had been talking about that for the past almost year now, trying, we were going to have a convention in Vegas in April, but that is not going to happen this year. We're going to push that to 2022 of April still. So hopefully, everyone will be ready to get out to cons early next year. Um, but until that point, we have been continuing with our Ulysses Con online, Ulysses Online Con monthly. We started it in November. We've done two so far, and then we've got another one this month, January 29th through 31st. So if you want to play some games with us, go check that page out on the website, and you can sign up for games, and you can sign up to run games and to play games. So if you guys want to play any of our games, check that out. The next one is going to be February 26th through 28th. And then in March, we'll have March 26th through 28th. And then we will have one in April. And that will be, in place of the Vegas con, we will have that one, an online con, but it will be bigger than the other ones. It will include a lot of the German team will be helping us with stuff. We'll have a bunch more German games and just a bunch more events and panels than we have for the regular months. So check that out. Jihi asked, what are the panels for this month? That's a good question. We haven't nailed those down yet. There's going to be some Torg stuff for sure. Let us know. Let me know what you want. Go ahead and post a comment in the chat or somewhere on social media. Let us know what kind of panels you would like to see. So if you do go to the website, you might notice that we have a new website. It just launched Monday. Check it out and let us know in the Discord if you find anything amiss, because we did transfer a lot of the stuff, and a lot of stuff is sort of it's based on the German website, and so they literally took it and copied it, and so we've been translating everything and whatnot, and so there are still some artifacts of that you'll find, but if you do find it, let us know and we'll get those fixed. We've also got a new shop, and it's called the F Shop, and that is what the Germans shop was always called the F Shop, and there's some like weird, kind of like from, I guess before we were Ulysses, we were like a Fan Pro or something like that, and so we were another name, and then that turned into the F Shop, and then when they turned to Ulysses, they kept the F Shop name, and so it's just sort of like there as an artifact, and so then we ended up taking it too. So now we have like an American F Shop, so it's just
the
kind of
fun
funny.
shop, right?
Yeah, the fun
That's what I
shop,
was
exactly.
figuring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. And so that's the new store, but it still has all of our great, all the content in it that will ship from the United States to anywhere in North America over here. So let's get started with the actual games. With Aventuria, all the pallets have arrived at Studio 2, which is our warehouse, and so that's for the Aventuria. A lot of the expansions we're doing for our next crowdfunding. We're trying to get those out to reviewers. So if you are a reviewer, please shoot us an email at contact@ulysses-spila.com if you would like to review some of our Aventuria adventure card game content. And then for the Dark Eye, so work continues on the Gods of Aventuria crowdfunding fulfillment. Tayo's still busy, translating and editing some of the Theater Nights content. The Gods of Aventuria are the actual book is being printed, so that's all happening. As far as streams, WebDM Plays The Dark Eye Adventures in Aventuria just wrapped up recently, but now that means you can catch all of the episodes on YouTube, which includes sort of like the overall arc, as well as a bunch of several one-shots that Grant Ellis ran as sort of like, I guess, prequel adventures and things like that. So that's all over there on the WebDM Plays YouTube channel. Let's see. Moving on, Myth: Dawn of Heroes. So the board game Myth: Dawn of Heroes is. We've recently released a website article detailing some adventures that will be included in the new Dawn of Heroes crowdfunding this year, and you can go check that out. In addition, we've created the Myth Dawn of Heroes page on the website where we show off the new logo. So let's take a look at that over here. Here is the Dawn of Heroes logo. So you can see that on the web page, but this is a new one. Before it was just it just said Myth, like that was the brand. But now we've got the Dawn of Heroes, and the reason we have Dawn of Heroes is because there's also a role-playing game that's going to be Myth Tales of Legend. So we'll have another logo to announce for that. But this is what we've got right now for Dawn of Heroes. And I've got some other images that have not been shown yet, but for Myth Dawn of Heroes, let's look at the Huntress. So this is one of the, this will be one of the characters that you can play. So here's a couple of views of her 3D model. Here's another direction from the front. So pretty cool. She moves faster than some other ones. So she's got some ranged, which is nice. It's been a popular character. So that's the Myth Dawn of Heroes. Let's go back over here. And for Tales of Legend, Ross and JM have been working on revamping the quick start. So there's a quick start that you can get for free out there called the Lost Barrow. And they've revamped it. They've kind of, fixed a few things in it. We've got a new cover, new layout, new art. And that will be available for print at some point as well. Print and PDF. But that's the most recent news for Tales of Legend. Let's move on to Fading Suns. So all of those books are finished in layout. The last books, I think the Reeves book went out to PDF backers a while ago, and everything is at the printers. And we're hoping that we will have them back within 6 weeks or so, and then they'll get sent here, and then they'll be getting sent out to people. So we're hoping by like April or so, people will have the books. Bill reports, he continues to work on the Wave 2 books. Actually, they're written and nearly ready for layout. And then the Wave 3 books are kind of in their beginning stages. Bill and Andrew continue to do their Heretical Musings stream, which is the first and third Thursdays of the month. So today we will have another stream for that. Although it will not be Bill and Andrew. Today will be just Andrew, and he'll be playing through the I think the Noble Armada video game based on Fading Suns, and I think that's going to be just got re-released to consoles. So definitely check that out today, and that'll be at 5 p.m. Eastern time. JM and the crew of the Oh Boy are back. They are running Fading Suns. We're gonna switch some of our actual plays to every other week right now for a while. So JM and the crew are not playing this week. They will be back next week with Fading Suns at 5:30 Pacific on Thursday. And now we'll talk about Torg Eternity. So the whole reason Rudy is here. Rudy has run some actual plays for us, and so we'll get into that shortly. But before we do, let's tell people what they want to know. A lot of people want to know about the crowdfunding update. So Tharcold, which was the last crowdfunding, it is being shipped to backers in Europe. A lot of folks have it, and we should have it here in the next few weeks, and then those will get sent out. So Tharcold, we're real close. People are asking about PDFs and asking about physical products, and we are hoping they will be here by mid-February. They literally are on the boat, and so we should be able to start getting those out to folks. In addition, in just 5 days, Orrorsh will be hitting Game On Tabletop. So watch that. We're going to put those preview links out as soon as possible. You ran some games in Orrorsh, right?
I did. Yes.
How did you like that,
a session. I talk a lot about the different genres in Torg, which is why I think it's such a neat game. But yeah, that genre shift to Orrorsh kind of threw my players off because we've been doing like silly things before then. I think it's really great.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I like Orrorsh a lot. I like a horror game, so it works right in my wheelhouse.
Nice. Yeah. So, people, I don't know if you've been looking at the previews that we've been putting out, but people are saying like the monsters look like they're strong and very scary. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what's in this new book. Um, so part of the crowdfunding is that we're going to have opportunities for folks to play Torg with Greg Gordon. Greg Gordon is is the original creator of Torg,
Wow. Yeah.
and he's the line developer for Torg Eternity. And so the way that this is going to work, we're going to kind of do kind of a raffle. But basically, if you are a backer at any level, as soon as the Torg crowdfunding starts, we're going to give away seats at different times during the crowdfunding. So we'll be drawing names from participating backers throughout the campaign. So if you pledge early, you'll get as many as 5 chances to win. So we'll do a drawing at the end of the first day, the end of the second day, the end of the first week, the end of the second week, and then the end of the campaign. So we'll have five different players. And to enter, you simply need to be a backer at any level, and which launches on Tuesday, January 26th. Make sure that you select the raffle entry add-on to indicate that you wish to participate in the raffle. Otherwise, we recognize that not everybody might not want to do that, so we don't want to have people win that don't want to play.
What an opportunity. Wow. That's a really, really cool goal, or really cool feature, I guess.
Yeah. I had the opportunity to play with Greg in actually he ran. I guess it wasn't my first ever game. My first game was Bill Slavicsek, which also is no slouch in the Torg world. And so he ran me through something real basic, and then I played some Tharkold with Greg. So that was awesome. So Tuesday is when that crowdfunding kicks off. That's when you have your first opportunity to play in a game with Greg Gordon. So be on the watch for that. So let's really start talking about those streams, Rudy. So
Yeah.
Tell us about Reality Raiders 3.
Sure. So I decided to go full on schlocky 80s over the top action. Like, that's when I first read the Torg book. That's what kind of stood out to me, is that they're so like this is a game where you're heroes and you're doing heroic stuff. And I thought, what type of media has heroes, or just like people doing over the top stuff? And like the 80s action movies stood out to me. So I pulled a lot from just like silly Rambo or like Arnold Schwarzenegger stuff from the 80s. But at the same time, I also really wanted a sense of like friendship and bonds between the characters. So I also thought of things like Goonies, or movies where there's a sense of like, these are the good guys, they've been friends forever, they're always going to be friends, like that kind of fun style of role playing, because I didn't want to get too character conflicty. So that's where we went from. And then I came up with this concept for Quinn Sebastian has them going on a number of missions to all the different cosms to find pieces of this special armor that is axiom immune, I guess. So if you have the full armor, you can go into any axiom and the rules don't apply to you within your sphere. So it's like a super Storm Knight armor, I guess, because the Storm Knights, a lot of that doesn't apply to them unless specific things happen. So I thought that was kind of appealing. That'd be like a fun thing to find. So they go to all the different cosms. I think we hit all of them except Tharkold, unfortunately. There are a lot, but in 12 episodes, we hit them all except for Tharkold. And they find a different piece of armor through a different mission for every one. So yeah, really fun. As I literally just said genre shifting, but since Torg is so genre shifting, this is like, it's like 7 one-shots that are all super different from each other. That's the beauty of the game, like being able to have a horror game in Orrorsh and have a pulp like comic book style fiction in Nile Empire, and then having this kind of Savage Worlds like dinosaur kind of world in the Living Land. Like, that's the coolest part of Torg, no question. And it's all the same rule set, and it's different, but the same at the same, like, it's, you've got that core knowledge of how the game works, but with the cards, with the axiom, with the world laws, they all feel different. And that's
Yeah,
really, really
definitely.
cool and really, really appealing.
Nice. What was your favorite Kazunbura?
Uh, oh, it's hard because they're all so. It's not like, what's your favorite fantasy world? The one where they have airships or the one where high fantasy is more important. These are all so different. Uh, I I really, really like horror games in general, so I really loved Orrorsh in this, just that bleak, dark. The world is so, like, sad and scary. I
Yeah.
liked that aspect of that. But I love, like, the high adventure of the Living Land. Like, that was one that really stood out to me. You can encounter anything while you're wandering around this jungle. Like, who knows what you're going to run into. I also really liked the like, futuristic tech of Pan Pacifica. I think that's really cool. And then the paranoia aspect of the cyber papacy is something that's really different. Like, it's a world where just walking down the street as the good guys is kind of a challenge in itself. Like, there's just so much going on, and you're not just fighting the members of the cyber papacy, you're fighting, like, the world itself, the cosm itself, just to complete what seems like probably the most menial tasks. So I'm a big fan of cyberpop and the different kind of game that brings.
Definitely. Well, so you said you really liked Orrorsh. So we have an announcement to make in that Rudy is going to be running some games for us in support of the Orrorsh crowdfunding. So if you want to see some more Orrorsh adventures, get ready to see Rudy run some more games here in the next month for us. So that's
Yes,
exciting.
I'm super duper excited for that, and to be able to look at some of the new content coming out in this Kickstarter. I'm very, very excited to be able to get my hands on that. Be one of the first people to
Definitely.
see and to run some stuff from that. I'm very, very pumped.
So when you were running, when you were kind of learning the game and running it, like what was something that you learned about the game, sort of, and about maybe jumping genres like that while you were GMing?
So I really loved the card system. Like, that's one thing that I've played RPGs, tabletop RPGs that try to implement cards and not do a great job about it. So when I was reading it, I was just like, whoa, 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 like, over and over, like, this works so well. And then I was looking through the cards, and it gives those really exciting moments. Like, I think probably the most exciting moment in the entire campaign was when that glory card was used, because everyone was piling on everything they had
Yeah.
to make sure that hit that, I think it was 65 or whatever, to get that huge result. And it was just like, wow, this is really, really cool. The way the cards work in conjunction with each other, the way the cards have mechanical and sometimes huge narrative effects.
Yeah.
So, for example, I had this recurring villain in our game that I just had him show up in every cosm as part of this other, like, bad guy group. And then one of my players is like, you know what? I had them pass each other. They couldn't fight each other in this particular scenario, but they were like, he was like meanly winking, like mockingly winking at this PC. And my PC is like, you know what? I'm gonna play the romance card. I don't know exactly what it's called. So I was like, oh, so now my recurring villain has this, like, Romeo and Juliet style romance with one of my PCs, where he works for the bad guys and the PC works for the good guy. And
Nice.
so that became a major plot point of the campaign. And again, also, I thought very 80s action movie. Perfect.
Yeah, totally.
Works perfect with what I'm going for. So
Yeah, let's talk about
just the
that.
cards.
The 80s
Yeah.
action aspect. That was a surprise to me, and I think it worked so well. I think it was awesome. Like, I was totally not expecting it, but then when I saw what you guys were doing, and like I saw Grant's the beginning
intro.
part, the intro,
Yeah.
yeah, that was all amazing. It worked so well, and then the fact that everyone was cosplaying, like, it was so cool. Like, it
Yes.
was so,
Yeah.
it was perfect.
I mean, we had Little Red Dot dressing up as her character Flick, who is this, like, Radio Shack style 80s hacker. I thought that worked really well with a lot of stuff. And we had Shauna Nakasone was a no holds brawl baseball player, I think is what she called her character, which also sounds like a very 80s thing, in that kind of like
Yeah.
roller derby was a big deal. I feel
Mhm.
like this could easily be an offshoot of that subculture.
Totally.
And Pruitt was a former American gladiator,
Yeah, I love that.
and he wore just like American flag apparel every single week.
Yeah.
And our last player, Amber, was a cowboy from Isle,
Mhm.
to kind of mix things up. Who I had David Bowie be an NPC, and he could cross between cosms
That's awesome.
before the invasion. So
Uh-huh.
he gave a cowboy book to a young Amber's character, and that influenced her greatly as she grew up in Isle.
Awesome. I know. I remember at the beginning there were so many questions of why is there a cowboy in Isle,
Yes,
and
why is there
so
so? There's the answer. It was David Bowie all along, which that's an answer for a lot of questions in life, I feel like.
I would think so. That is amazing. So, and then tell us about the name Reality Raiders 3.
Yeah, I
What's
mean,
the three?
it just came off as like something that would work for. Yeah, I know Reality Raiders are the bad guys in the game, but
Mhm.
yeah, and also it gave us the opportunity to be like, oh yeah, flashing back to Reality Raiders 2, this is
Mhm.
a thing that happened, or
Mhm.
the prequel movies and all that stuff. So I just thought it worked.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like something, if you were in the early 90s, you're going through Blockbuster and you see this weird dumb cover for a movie called Reality Raiders 3, and it's like
uh,
kind of low budget, but the cover art looks really neat, and there's a flexing guy wearing an American flag, and
right.
yeah, you're just kind of caught, and it strikes you and catches your eye. So
Nice.
that's what I was going for.
Yeah, I think you did a great job. That was such a cool concept for the game. I was super surprised, and I thought it was awesome. Um, you can catch all of that on the WebDM Plays YouTube channel right now. I was talking to Grant also about doing some write ups for our website, like sort of like a little bit of like spoiler stuff and like behind the scenes stuff, to kind of get those out there. You guys can definitely be expecting that. Um, in addition, on our YouTube, on the Ulysses International, the Orrorsh panel that the folks did at one of the monthly cons, as well as the what's going on with Torg in year 2. So if you are interested in Torg, definitely check that out. The Horseman, which is the actual play game GM'd by JM, is also going to every 2 weeks, and so that will be continuing next Tuesday at 5:30 Pacific. So check that out on YouTube if you want to catch up. So I think that's about it for today. So where can people find you on the internet, Rudy?
Hey, you can follow me on Twitter at Rudy Basso, RUDYBASSO. And keep an eye out on or for that, keep an eye out for those Orrorsh one shots. I hope there will be announcements on the Ulysses Twitter about that when we're starting to do those things.
Definitely. And then do you have any other projects that you're working on? What have you been working on lately?
Oh, geez. I'm sorry. I'm a little behind. Not currently. If you have a podcast and you need a podcast editor, reach out to me. I'm happy to do that for you. And I have some other stuff in the works, but it's still in playtesting. So,
Aha. All right. We'll be
keep an
watching
eye
for
on
that.
my Twitter. There will be announcements in time.
Definitely, definitely. Cool. Well, thanks for watching the Ulysses World Show. If you'd like to chat more with Ulysses folks or other fans or Rudy, please check out our Discord community. If you like the show, please follow and subscribe to our channels on Twitch and YouTube, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss anything. So for Ulisses Spila, I'm Robert Adducci, and this is Rudy Basso. Thanks for watching. And come back next week, Thursday, January 28th at 9 a.m. for more Ulysses Worlds news. Bye.